The basis of all of Marx's work on social structures and the place in which that work is most clearly tied to his views on human potential is in his analysis of commodities, or products of labor intended for both use and exchange. Marx's conception of commodity was rooted in his materialistic orientation, with its focus on the productive activities of actors. It was Marx's view that in their interactions with nature and with other actors, people always produce objects that they need in order to survive. Objectification is a necessary and universal aspect of human life. In primitive societies with simpler economic systems, the objects were produced for use by oneself or by others in the immediate environment, and that was called the use value of commodities. Now, Marx believed that the objects are products of human labor and cannot achieve an independent existence because they are controlled by the actors. However, in capitalism, this process of objectification takes on a new and dangerous form. Instead of producing for themselves or their immediate associates, the actors produce for someone else. That is the capitalist system itself. And the products have exchange values. That is, instead of being used immediately, they are exchanged in the open market for money, which is used ultimately to acquire other use values. Marx examined the circulation of commodities, which he considered the starting point of capital. In a society characterized by the simple circulation of commodities, exchange is accomplished by the conversion of the commodity into money and reconversion of the money into a commodity. For example, a wheat farmer selling his produce to acquire money to buy fruits, vegetables, or even milk. This circuit, however, does not exist in isolation. It is inextricably interrelated to similar circuits involving other commodities. This type of exchange process develops a whole network of social relations, spontaneous in their growth and entirely beyond the control of the actors. A simple circulation of commodities, including that of the barter system in which one commodity is exchanged for another, would eventually lead to the circulation of commodities under the capitalist circuit, where buying is done in order to sell. The individual actor buys a commodity with money and in turn exchanges it for presumably more money. For example, a farmer would first purchase certain implements and soil ameliorants to increase the productivity of his farm in order to increase his future profits. So it is clear that the circulation of commodities under capitalism begins with a purchase and ends with a sale. Furthermore, the end of the circuit is not the consumption of the use value, as it is in the simple circulation of commodities. The end is money in an expanded form, money that is qualitatively identical to that at the beginning of the circuit but quantitatively different. In a capitalist system, money is the end goal, for it can bestow on people powers and abilities that they do not actually possess.